and welcome back to the BT Report Show. Today I want to start off talking about a forecast for the NBA Finals. The weather is going to be very Thunder-like. The Oklahoma Thunder beat the San Antonio Spurs, make it into the Western Conference, make it to the NBA Finals as a Western Conference champion, led by Kevin Durant, who played all 48 minutes in Game 6, played the entire game. Harden played great. Russell Westbrook played great. Got to give props to the San Antonio Spurs. They were able to put out that 20-game win streak throughout 50 days. But then they, over the last 7 days, they basically swept in a 4-game series. They lost their last 4 games, which led to the ultimate turnaround of everybody was putting the Spurs into the finals once they went up 2-0 on the Thunder. Everybody was saying that the Spurs were, the dynasty's back. Duncan's going to match Kobe with 5 rings. Not so fast. Kevin Durant, the young guns out of Oklahoma, pulled that switcheroo, threw it into gear, played solid defense, held the San Antonio Spurs only 39 points in the second half. And Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden are becoming their own big three, all under the age of 25, playing great. It's definitely something to look forward to, whether they're playing either the Celtics or Miami in the NBA Finals. It's going to be a great series. And speaking of the NBA, speaking of the Celtics and Heat, tonight they're playing. Put me down for the Celtics. I think Game 6 at their house. LeBron needs to take a book out of Durant's playbook and, play 48 minutes. Play hard. Shoot what you got to do. If the last shot comes, don't try to pass it to D. Wade. Shoot it yourself. But I don't think that's what happens. I think LeBron will either take the shot and miss it like he's done before, or he'll just try to pass it and it'll just be bad. Give me the Celtics tonight, Game 6, and it'll be a Celtics versus Thunder in the finals. I want to move on to the Los Angeles Kings and the New Jersey Devils, Game 4 up in LA Center. There was police everywhere, ready for this giant celebration of the Stanley Cup Finals. The Kings were up 3-0. Were all set up to do a sweep of the Martin Brodeur and the New Jersey Devils, and Martin Brodeur said no, stopped them, held them to 1 goal. Adam Henrique scored the winning goal for the Devils. They came in to L.A., put on a good show. However, I think that's it. They're going back to New Jersey on Saturday, where New Jersey, I believe, will have their 15 to 20-year-old record of 11 games tied by the Kings. The Kings will win 11 straight games on the road, tying a record. It's going to be good. Sadly, it couldn't happen in L.A. I would have loved to have seen the riots. You've seen Rodney King. What's going to happen when a hockey team wins their first championship? It would have been cool. Sorry it didn't happen. And I heard there was a lot of police officers just standing up there with nothing to do. Sad about the game, just like all the fans were. Next, I want to go into the worst team of the Major League season so far. Before I've mentioned the surprise teams like Baltimore and Cleveland, just a few other teams, the Rays. But I want to talk about the worst team in baseball right now, from head to the bottom. It's got just heads and shoulders worse than everybody else, is the San Diego Padres. Sorry, San Diego. It's where I'm from. It's where I live. The Padres are in a bad spot from all the way up to the owner with the whole John Moores and the Jeff Morad situation. Hopefully they'll be able to get in a good owner who will come in and be able to stabilize the franchise. Look what happened to the Dodgers. Last year, they're stuck with this cartoon guy, and he screws up everything. Then they bring in Magic Johnson's group, and look at them. They're leading the division right now, playing amazing baseball. It's amazing what happens when you have some stability, knowing where your next paycheck's going to come from. It's just crazy. Hopefully they'll be able to bring in somebody, whether it's the Tony Gwynn people that he's representing or the Phil Mickelson side that he's representing. Someone will come in, be willing to spend some money on this smaller market team and make them go back to the playoffs. Because you can't win when your second baseman just got released 3 weeks ago because he's terrible. First baseman Yonder Alonso, they got some good young prospects, but overall it's got to change from head to bottom. Bud Black needs to go. He's been a good coach over here for the last few years. It's time to get some fresh life in here, though. Now I want to go from this to a sad sort of construed topic. Justin Blackmon of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I believe it's the Jaguars, was caught on his second DUI. He's like 22 years old, 21 years old, 20 years old. He's got his second DUI in his 3 years. It's an absolute travesty when all these NFL players, all they have to do is pick up a phone, call a number, and then someone will come pick them up, take them where you got to go. There's a service that the NFL has built up through the last few years that say, hey, if you drink, call this number, we'll take you home for free, no charge. Well, yet no, these guys still want to drive. I don't understand what makes people think that they're invincible, where they can go out and get hammered and then drive. Because all you're going to end up doing is go to jail, hit somebody, kill someone like Dante Stallworth did a few years ago. It is absolutely inexcusable. This has to stop. It's got to start with Goodell coming in, throwing the hammer down, hit him before he even steps on the field as a rookie. Hit him, crush it. There's no excuse to get a DUI as a professional athlete. I'm going to go to my final topic today. Very sad, very different, brought up a lot of mixed emotions with people I've talked to over the last few weeks. I know I have my own opinions about it, but I also wanted to bring in the opinions of my producer. Here I'm talking about the death of Junior Seau, the suicide, the shotgun to the chest. Fat Man, what do you think about the Junior Seau suicide?
I think everything that has gone on there is kind of bull. I don't believe that he had the forethought to shoot himself in the chest so that they can do this brain scan that they're talking about. And I believe that the hype that everybody did on it was a mistake. It's suicide. You don't talk about somebody who commits suicide. That's a very cowardly act. It's an extremely final problem or final solution to a very temporary problem, and it's
very selfish too. You look at what his kids got to go through now. His kids now have to go through life without a father. There's no dad, for his two young boys. There's no dad to tell you how to tie a tie anymore. How to grow up and be a real man. They don't have that, and especially with him shooting himself in the chest, that's not a real man act. No, real men definitely work through it.
And what about his family? What about his parents? What about his mother? He took the cowardly way out, and I think there's a lot more to this than we know. With the restaurants closing right away, I think there might have been some financial issues there. There's stuff we don't know. The problem is, I'm a religious man, and when they were talking about, hey, he's looking down at us from heaven, no, he is not. He's actually looking up from hell. So... yeah. That's all I have to say about it, because I could really get involved in this, but it's your show, BT.
Yeah, I think that's all that needs to be said. Like my producer said, it's a cowardly act. It's selfish and very sad to think that this is the last thing that you're going to do on this earth. It is your last mark that everybody's going to say, this is who I am. I'm the guy that put a shotgun to my chest, not to my head because I want him to study my brain because I know I'm messed up. I disagree with it. So does my producer. Hopefully, throughout this, though, like Miles McPherson said when he was doing all that stuff there, maybe this will help some people get help before it's too late. Maybe something good will come out of it. But as for Junior Seau himself, I got no respect. That's all from me today. You can follow me on Twitter at BT on PMLB. And follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/BT on PMLB. And check out the badass show that is PFPsports.com with Nick and Darren. Those guys are amazing. Nick's my hero. I love him. And y'all have a great day.